Baker, your host of the Prairie Real Estate Show, right here on 103.5 FM, The Sun, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Hey, when I'm not on the radio, I'm working with folks just like you to help them buy and sell homes. I'm proud to say that my team, the Baker Realty Group, has been helping people buy and sell homes in the greater Sun Prairie area for over 10 years. Information about buying and selling a home is available on my website, thebakerrealtygroup.com, on Facebook by searching the Baker Realty Group, or by calling 608-575-6731. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show with Bill Baker and Laura Stanfield. Brought to you by the Baker Realty Group.
Welcome to the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show with your host, Bill Baker.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Hump Day and the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show. It is Wednesday, and what's Wednesday mean? It means a day of real estate and learning more about the buying, selling, and investing in real estate. I'm your host, Bill Baker, and glad to be here with you. Hey, we're underwritten by those wonderful folks at the Bank of Sun Prairie and, of course, the Baker Realty Group, where we always bring you home, and Wintrust Mortgage. So we're going to talk about a subject today. We're going to talk about a few subjects today, and we're still continuing this kind of conversation about this class action lawsuit. We're going to talk about what does that mean with the new guidelines that have been set in place by the Department of Justice for you as a seller, for you as a buyer, and the interaction of a real estate agent, and also the involvement of our lenders, our bankers, our mortgage bankers. How's that going to affect you in your life? Now, you got to remember, when the government gets involved, everything gets screwed up. And that's exactly what's going on here, because they think they're doing a pretty good job of it, and actually they're just messing the hell out of this thing. So, yeah, so there you have it. That's the best way to describe it. It's a situation that I don't agree with, and we're going to talk about that. I'll share my thoughts and processes on this. But before we do that, we've been gone for a few minutes, so let's get caught up on our mortgage situation. What's the world of finance and mortgages? Miss Laura Stanfield from Wintrust Mortgage.
Mortgage.
That was just more fun to say.
Which I think literally means death contract, right? Mort meaning death.
Oh yeah, it does.
Anyway.
How did you know that?
There's some Latin in there, right? And Italian.
Are you educated?
Educated?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, most of the time.
I saw, was it Michael Johnson posted? I'm going down a rabbit trail, but somebody said I graduate. Did you see that?
Graduated.
They said I graduated or something like that, and he goes, really? You sure?
Well, that's
it's spelled graduated wrong, way wrong. Anyway, yeah, broken record. I don't know. Not a whole lot to report on the rate front. Not horrible. Not as high as it's been. Not as low as it's been. How about that?
Ooh, where are we? 7? Back at 7? Mm-hmm. It shot up last week because of the employment figures. I saw that, which is just a joke. Come on, people. Let's get some celebration out there.
Employment numbers, consumer confidence numbers, all kinds of numbers impact rates. So I think most people are aware, but I still hear sometimes, I think people don't understand that rates can and do fluctuate all the time. And it's all about what's going on in the market, the bond market in particular, and how the news is impacting the market, and therefore if the rates go up or down. However, today is kind of a positive day so far, so we'll see if we have a little bit of a rate improvement, but because they change so much, we just don't know. I would say just, you can lock once you have an accepted offer. Lock it. Be done with it.
Lock it.
Yeah, because it can stress out. There's a lot of things to worry about, a lot of stuff going on when you're buying a home. Stressing about your rate isn't one of them.
Well, yeah,
it's not predictable.
Lawrence Yun came out and said that he sees rates dropping by the end of the year. Now, what does that mean exactly? we don't know. We don't know what we don't know.
Well, they could drop today, but then go right back up again.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So,
There's always something that causes it. Somebody
Yes.
farted in the wind or something. And
well, I don't
boom,
think
they go
that
up.
impacts mortgage.
Well, it would impact me.
bonds, but-
It'd be pretty stinky. That's all I know.
Well, I have 2 teenage boys, so I think I
yeah.
know a thing or two about that.
Oh god. Do you go in their room even when you walk in there?
Actually, they're both surprisingly very clean.
Oh, are they?
They are. One makes his bed every single day. The other one he makes his bed sporadically, but he keeps his room really clean and neat and organized, and they don't smell bad.
No. That's
I don't know how. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
They do like to do other things though that I don't like to hear or smell. But anyway.
Come on, that's okay.
But so runs the gamut, right, from first-time homebuyer programs, middle that apply to anybody and everybody, and then all the way up to jumbo loan programs. So first-time homebuyer rate is still the best out there. One in particular. So it was 6.125 forever, and they just increased it to 6.375. We'll see if it goes back down again after today, perhaps. I don't know. But not bad either way. 6.375 is a pretty good rate when most are hovering around 7 right now.
Well, it is what it is, and get over it. I mean, that's what we need
What's
to
your
say.
payment? Really, what is your payment? How much do you have to pay every single month? And are you comfortable with that?
Sure.
That's what you need to know and focus on. The rate's gonna change over time.
Yeah, it will.
It absolutely will, no doubt about it.
will. Get through it now.
Yeah.
Just here's the thing is, and I love when people will say to me, "Well, I'm just going to wait till next year." Well, why would you do such a foolish thing? And they look at me like, "I can't believe you just said that." And I'm sure most people don't.
Softer
say that.
approach might be better,
Well,
huh? Bees
that's
with
not
honey.
me. You know me. If it's blue, I call it blue. It's not navy
Okay.
blue, not
All right.
violet, not pink, or nothing like that. It's blue. And that's
Lots
a
of shades of blue.
Well, it's
I'm
a
just
huge
saying.
mistake. I mean, so we're going to talk about the
Yeah.
numbers today, where May over May, and because we have the month-end numbers and all that, and how much it would have cost you. And we should just do this because we got pen and paper and we can play with this a little bit. You're a good mathematician.
Am I?
You're a loan person.
I have calculators and things that
Oh
I
my
can.
gosh, no way!
I can do math in my head though, and I
Yeah.
noticed when I was doing Reality Rocks, I may have told you that, I was shocked at the
Math, you can
minimal
do.
number of kids that could just do math without needing to pull out the calculators
Stop
on their
it.
phones.
But-
Almost every single one pulled out their phones, and I'm like, come on, just do that in your head. I know you can. I mean, just simple, but they're
Right.
not. That's
Right.
just not how they're wired these days.
You know I'm a big Trekkie fan, right? I love Star Trek.
Star Trek, yeah.
Oh yeah, I watch all of them.
hmm
And
Live long and prosper.
I was just watching the most recent Discovery, Star Trek Discovery, which is really cool. And one of the actors in there is he's actually using paper. And they said to him, "Where'd you find paper?" He says, "That's been gone for years." He says, "I have a lot of it. I like
I
writing
have
on
a
paper."
stockpile.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're just talking about paper, using paper. But in Star Trek, they don't use paper. They use computers. They use iPads and things that we're using
Books.
today.
How many people read books that are actual books?
I do.
Yeah,
I
I
do.
prefer the book.
I do. Yeah, I like to
Me too.
touch it, hold it, feel it.
Flip
My
a
dad,
page.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get that baby.
Yeah.
If you really you wet your finger, swipe it, fold it.
I
Like-
had a visual. I don't do that, but
No?
yeah, I know lots of people. Anyway.
But you know,
It's kinda
being
gross.
able to, I mean, are we becoming our parents? Where, you know what I mean? It was get off the phone. Well, we're still saying it to our kids: get off the phone.
Yeah, but now it's portable, not attached to a cord, and you can only go so far,
I
right?
know, right?
I remember get off the phone, party line stuff.
Oh yeah, had that.
And my mom was a realtor, as you know.
Uh-huh.
And she got really mad at me, like, get off the phone. I'm waiting for a call from a client or whatever, because that was the only line you had, phone line you had at home. So for her, it was probably like, you could be taking up my, I could have an important phone call coming in from a seller or a buyer or, yeah. I'm sorry, but me and my friends, our conversations are much more important than your business.
That's exactly right. Janice Bedner, glad you could join us.
Hi, Janice.
I see you're on this show. Charlie Andrews, as always, man, you're always there, buddy.
He is.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you, as they say today.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, but so technology has changed and things like that, and being on the phone. I got a phone in my room. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I had a princess.
Me too.
I had a princess phone.
Why? Oh, you mean you're not talking like pink or purple
No,
or bedazzled like the
princess phone was the half moon kind of phone, and you dialed in
I've
the
never
middle
heard
of
of
it.
it called that. It's a princess phone?
Get out of here.
I thought you meant like the old-fashioned kind that like.
No.
Sorry, I'm
It
dating
looked
you.
It looks like a banana, actually.
Yes,
and
that's the kind I had too. I
Yeah.
just didn't know it was called that.
Do you have a push button, or was it a rotary dial?
I had a push button.
Okay.
I'm a little younger than you.
Dang.
Not a lot, just a little bit.
Digging out there.
Banana phone, I think, is how I thought of it, not princess, but I should have called it a princess phone.
Yeah, that was the
'cause-
style. It's called
yeah.
Princess.
Well, look at that. I learned something new today.
I educated you.
Oh, man.
This is now an educational.
You wouldn't win a spelling bee, would you?
No, I could not. Why, did I misspell something?
Well, no, not at all. Maybe it was just pronunciation.
Princess?
Edumacated.
Oh, educated.
Yeah.
Strategic.
What?
Strategic.
Wow,
And
you're
what's
just
my
making
favorite
up
word?
words.
What's it? Prolly.
Prolly.
That's another
Prolly. Prolly.
Oh my gosh! All right, so we went down a rabbit hole. So why was
Yes,
I
we
talking
did.
about this? When I think, well, in my world, if you're working with me as a buyer agent or as a seller, you're going to get the straight scoop. I'm not going to beat around the bush on you, and that's just my personality. But I can tell you this: it will either save you money or make you money, because you will not be confused. You will not have any confusion in what I just said. It's like, sell your house. Well, what do you mean? I don't know how much clearer I can be. Sell your house.
Sell it. We'll figure it out. But I also know that you've told buyers. I was just talking to one of
yeah?
your buyers the other day,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Yeah, he said don't buy it." And I'm like, "Well, he'll tell you if he doesn't think it's a good investment for you."
Yeah.
This particular one, I think you were
the
concerned
Columbus
about
house.
water issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And condition and hidden condition.
Yeah.
And it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
My gut was going.
Well, buyers need that though. They need, because they don't, especially first-time buyers, they don't know what to look for.
Right.
So they're relying on you and your expertise. So if you see something, you can't specifically say, I know that's a problem, but you could say, look, I think you need to look into that further. That doesn't look right to me.
Right.
I don't know if that was done according to code. I
Sure.
see water.
Right.
Like, I don't know if it's new or old, but there's definitely been water here. And I didn't know to look for that when I bought my first house. There was tar. I may have told you that, like,
No.
in the basement.
Tar.
So that's how they sealed, basically. It wasn't landscaped properly, and I don't
Okay.
think they were cleaning out the gutters. It was a simple fix. But yeah, there was water that came in, and I didn't think
And
at the
tar.
time, to go, why is there tar there? That's weird. But you've got years and years of experience, so that's why we need direct information like that.
I can walk into the house and feel it right away. What I mean by that is.
Bill is there is a different intuitive realtor, but anyway,
Oh,
you're an intuitive realtor.
Yeah, I agree with that.
House intuition.
And you know what's really cool about that is you've built a relationship with the person.
Yeah.
And you get the feel. You
Right.
know what they're looking for. And it's my job. And in the situation we're talking about, oh my gosh, the wife wanted that house
Yeah.
in the worst way. She would have paid $50,000 over the ask.
But she's okay now. Like, just
Yeah.
education. They
Yeah.
need to understand.
Yeah.
And this is why it wasn't a good fit for you. There's
Right.
a better one out there.
Right,
And she's
exactly.
over it now. She's
Exactly.
fine. Yeah.
Well, hopefully. Now we're going to get the other house in view and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
it's interesting. It's also when I'm selling a house, I can walk in and I go, okay, the smell's got to go.
Ugh.
We've got to shrink everything down. We got to start packing stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
And could you please vacuum your carpet?
Oh,
Maybe dust your
goodness.
shelves.
You have to tell people to vacuum.
Yeah, you do.
dust.
You do. And and again, I don't know. I mean, some people will dance around it. What's the word? Pussyfoot?
Well, you can say dance.
Yeah, dance around. But I don't agree with that. We need to do this, 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 and this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they look at you like, really? I have to do all that? No, you don't have to do anything. But you're not going to get the price you want.
That's it. Do you want top dollar for your house or not? Do you want it to show well?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So why should you...
Trust me.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying they need to trust you.
Last night I met Tina Turner with Terry. Miss Terry.
Tina Turner imposter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was okay. It was a crackly voice, and it was loud. I mean, I'm going to tell you, a lot of people left at intermission because of how loud it was.
Do you have those ear things?
I don't have those ear things.
Maybe you should.
Hearing
like if
aids?
you're going to a my dad would
I don't need
like
plugs for this normally, but it was just, and the lighting.
Louder than usual.
I'm telling you, the lighting blinded you at times.
Wow.
Oh, it was really overpowering.
That's a miss.
We had a good time, but I forgot where I was going with that.
Yeah, me too. I don't know where that ties into housing, but anyway. I'm sure
I ran into some folks I knew.
Oh.
And so at intermission, I ran to the little boys' room, and then I came back, and I'm talking to them for a little bit, and the question always comes up.
Yeah.
What's the question?
What's the real estate market like these days?
Yeah, how's real estate? And so I said, well, it's really a challenge for folks right now. Price is still up, inventory is still low, and I said, and I'm telling people that I know that have been in their homes a long time, it's time to sell your house. And I said, I know your next comment is going to be, where do you go?
Mm-hmm.
I said, you rent. We take you out to Heyday.
Heyday.
And you live there for a while. Till
Janice can comment on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
We take you out there, but what's happening right now is your equity is peaking. It's peaking. What do I mean by that?
So you're saying,
no, it's not yet. I don't know, but I don't know when it's going to
It will,
happen.
though, just like
will.
rates. It will.
Right.
Market shifts happen all the time.
But you're messing with $400,000. You're messing with $500,000 in cash.
Yeah.
You're flirting with that, and is it worth losing $50,000? Is it worth?
Well,
what's the risk on that?
That's a lot of money.
Huh?
Anyway, it's a lot of money.
So, you've got somebody that's been in their house for 30 years, or 20 years even. They got a lot of equity. Janice, hey, we love Heyday. Best decision I ever made. Aww.
There you go. See?
I'm glad you're happy over there, Janice.
Great idea.
Beautiful place. Beautiful place. They're almost sold out.
They're almost sold out?
Yeah, 40 to go. 40 to go.
Okay.
I know.
Aren't they still building, though? Or you're talking about of the ones that are building right
what
now?
They're supposed to build, they're going to be sold out.
They're
40.
Pre-selling.
Well, no, they're almost completed.
Gosh, I guess I haven't been out that way in a bit.
No. Well, next Tuesday's a party, so we'll have to go.
Okay. Yeah, I remember Christina saying that.
Right. But here's the thing I'm saying is that, think about it. If a stockbroker came to you and said, hey, your Tesla stock is topped out. We have to get out of it. I want you out of there, and we'll put you in Nevada. NVDIA, which is all the artificial intelligence. Those are the chips.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's trading for like $400 a share. So,
whoa.
Oh, I know. And
Holy
so
cow.
You got to capture that equity while you can.
Yeah.
And there's a place to go. Just get out. It's a great time. You're going to get high dollar for your house. You're going to get a lot of equity, and that gives you a lot of choices to mess with.
Equity is the key for both buyers and sellers.
Sure.
Sellers, you're sitting on a ton of it, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
You're
probably sitting on a ton of equity and even if you've only owned a few years, because I'm sure you're going to talk about what's happened with appreciation, but that's also a key feature for buyers.
Yeah.
Forget about the interest rate. I know, I get it. I know it's your payment, and that's what's most important. But don't let that stop you if it's comfortable, because you're losing a ton of money.
Absolutely.
Just by not owning a home. If you want to own a home, stay in the market.
Exactly.
We say it all the time, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I know. Miss
I
Dana
think people
Tanner,
get exhausted.
glad you're on. Glad you're watching us, and thanks. I'm sorry, I stepped all over you.
No, it's okay. I'm just, I was just talking about this. I don't know what your thoughts are on this. There's a buyer that I've been working with for a year and a half, 2 years, I don't know, a long time. And she's like, I just don't think I'm ever going to get an accepted offer. Well, part of it is her loan program.
Part of it's her attitude.
That too, yes. But
don't ever say never to me.
I guess what was going through my mind is, I know you can't share price. So if your buyer gets beat out, And it really kind of depends on what the listing agent is willing to share, right? They can't tell you what the accepted offer price was. You don't know until it closes.
Correct.
But can you share some things so that buyers don't completely lose hope because they don't know why their offer wasn't accepted? I mean, are there things I guess you can say like, hey, you know what, your loan program, I had a conventional loan program, or it was cash. I mean, whatever. It was over what you asked for. Can you say things like that so that buyers know why they missed out? And if there's something they can overcome, then maybe they can work on that instead of losing hope completely and leaving the market.
Well, I tell you what I do as a realtor is that, or as a realtor, I love that.
Please don't say realtor. I can't. I know
You don't like
realtors that say realtor, and I'm like, well, you don't even know how to say your own profession.
Well, some of us don't even want to be a realtor anymore, based upon everything that's happened.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, I know.
What I do is if we did not receive the bid, and it's a bid basically, then I will call the listing agent and I'll ask them, was this mainly price? Was there something going on there? And I'd say 9.999% of the time they will tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
And we got a cash offer, no contingencies, 7-day closing.
Yeah, that way the buyer can learn.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, though, I mean, I can tell you what's going on, basically in the industry, and how you need to come into that offer. You know, if you have a sale contingency, good luck with that.
Well, you've got one of those right now.
I do, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Good luck with that.
Well,
I looked at it, by the way, and I just don't see a way, but without doing that.
Without selling? Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I could, we'll come back to that in a second. And I forgot where I was going with it because I mean, the contingencies.
The things you can say,
Sure,
too. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, like right now, we're going to talk about in a little while. What was it? 39% of all the offers, like 39% of all that was sold in May had competing offers. Now,
39%?
39%. Let's make it 40.
Yeah, I mean almost half, but still,
Yeah.
I'm surprised there aren't more.
Wow, there you go. Because what we've been experiencing, what we've been sharing on the air is usually over 50% are having competing offers.
That could be a shift, a sign of a shift.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
I think we're seeing some people back off, but here's what you need to know, and we'll go right into the numbers if you want to. That the number of homes on the market in May compared to last May was up 23%. There were 10 more houses for sale than last May. There were homes sold was up 60%, 59% at 43 compared to 27. And the house price, oh my gosh, the average sold price was up, let's make it 14%. And she's talking with her mouth and not saying any words.
I wanted to see how many of your list was either under asking or net zero.
Oh,
and
I know.
I'd say more than half.
We're going to get to that.
Wow.
Hang in there.
That's surprising.
Hang in there, pumpkin. We'll get to it in a minute.
Okay.
So here's what we're talking about, why you should be buying a house. And it's like Alex. I mean, my son. I mean, we had to push him to do this. Now, we're trying to do something special, though.
Yeah.
We're trying to get him into wealth building immediately by buying a
Such a cool
duplex.
opportunity
Absolutely.
for him. Yes.
And it shows you the relationship that I have with my ex-wife and my son has with his former stepmom and all that, where those two are working together. And she understands it. And so
she understands it very well, yes.
Oh my God. And she's a realtor. She's a wonderful realtor.
Yes.
Does a great job. Jean Lambert, formerly Jean Baker. I always call her Jean Baker. Anyway.
And she doesn't mess around either. She says it exactly like it is.
Oh.
Kind of cracked me up. She's like, if you don't pay, you're out.
And
it's my investment property. I will rent it. You'll go live with your dad.
So did you?
It was so funny.
So you've really never spent time talking to her at all, have you?
Not a lot. I think I told you before when I was it was Keller Williams, when I was at Waterstone years ago. And I was in the East office, and I only saw her like come and go. But when I saw her walk in, I'm like, that's gotta be Jean. She just has a presence about
yeah.
her, she just does. She had bright red hair, dressed beautifully, to the nines, I think they say.
To the nines,
yeah,
always.
and she just, the way she carries herself too, just very, very confident, and I know, and she does know what she's doing.
But the way she talks to you too, does it remind you of somebody?
Yeah, well, she's very direct, but she's also very, very sweet, very kind,
she
very,
is.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
So am I.
Yes.
But
depending on the day, yes, you are. Did you just call me?
No, never. I never would call you that. Never. Oh my God.
That's okay. I can handle it. Bring it. I started it. I deserve it.
That's true.
Anyway, yes, it is a really cool opportunity for Alex, and I hope
Yeah.
he gets it. And that's, I wish more people would think about that.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to build wealth if you can, and you can use the other unit you're not living in as income potentially?
Exactly.
So.
Well, look at this. I mean, last year's price was $433,000, so it goes up 14,000. Or 14%, I mean, and
A lot more than 14,000.
That's $52,000.
Whoa.
You just made $52,000 in 1 year. Tell me an investment where you don't use any money, maybe, or a limited amount of money, and you get $52,000 a year plus,
Right.
plus all the equity. I mean, everything.
Continued equity as the years go by.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh
well,
my gosh.
and we're talking about shifts, but to be clear, that might confuse people, and I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but there's no end in sight for the housing shortage. So it's going to be a seller's market for a while.
Right.
But I feel like what we've seen this year, and I don't know if it's just mass exodus of a lot of buyers, I'm exhausted, I can't get an accepted offer. I've heard this.
You have?
I've heard buyers say, yeah, I'm not. I need to wait until this happens or that happens, or
Right.
I'm just going to rent another year. Okay,
Wow.
but that's how we started the show. That truly is a mistake.
It is.
Stay
It
in the
is.
market. If you don't find it, fine, but don't leave the market because
Right.
you might.
So here's the thing I want to say about that too, is it depends on who the realtor is that you're working with. And that's why it's important to understand who you're working with and get their value proposition. What is it that they can do for you? Why even have somebody represent you? And this is going to come around in our discussion here in the second half hour. But the thing is, they've got to have their strategies to show you how to get an accepted offer. Does it work all the time? Nope.
Mm-mm.
But it takes your percentage, your probability of getting it accepted a lot higher.
And that's why I asked that question, because the more you're in it, the more houses you look at, the more you lose out on. Sorry, sadly, but you learn every time you lose.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I think the feedback from the listing side is key. But is a listing agent just going to reach out to 20 people who put offers in and didn't get them accepted and say, hey, by the way, your buyer didn't get accepted because of XYZ? Of course not.
Right.
You need a buyer's agent
Right.
that is working for you
Yes.
and trying to help educate you.
Yes.
And reaches out and asks for that information.
And when she says working with you, that means communicating with you. It doesn't mean text, It could be, but they need to have a verbal with you. You need to learn you have that relationship with them, and where there's trust that's built up, there's respect that's been put into place. Because this is a long-term relationship. It doesn't end after you buy the house. I get more calls after the sale about, do you know somebody, or I need help with this, or hey, we'd like to buy another one, or something. It's interesting. Interesting. So you heard the 13.88%. Let's make it 14%. But now that's just 1 month. If we back up and go year to date, January to May, we're up 11%, folks. 11%. So 11% of 500,000 is $55,000.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Yep.
So I tell people all the time, well, if you buy it and you don't like it, I can turn around and sell it again and make more money off of it. And they go, what? Because of the process that's going through, the realtors haven't really touched the highest price. I just got a look that went.
Which scares me a little bit.
Well, but your look went, what? What?
I think I know where you're going with that. It
Well,
just worries me a little bit.
Can I give you a suggestion?
Chill a bit with the prices, and I think it has a bit.
Oh my gosh.
But
So let me just share with you that, okay? And you got to remember, a real estate agent, a realtor has your fiduciary responsibility in their hand, and it is priority. It comes before everything else. So let me give you an example.
should.
Just talked to, we had a little get together at Full Mile for EXP yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was there about an hour.
An hour?
An hour before I had to go down and get some sushi.
Oh yeah.
Over
and go
at-
see a cool show.
Ali Tuna Sushi,
Ale Tuna.
which
It's
is
an
over by
interesting
Family
name.
Video.
No, by La Rosita.
Well, now it
If
is.
you want some good Mexican, woo!
Oh, the burritos over there are huge. That's like 2 meals in one for
Burritos as big as your head.
But anyway, we were talking about all these offers that are coming in, and how what happens is what we've noticed is the listing agents just spread them out. Not our agents, but what they've dealt with. They get a bunch of offers in place. They review them, and then they have the seller pick one.
Just have the seller pick one.
They just have them pick one.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Could be.
Come on.
Now, what should you really do?
A spreadsheet.
Oh, okay, spreadsheet. What should you do? What you got a bunch of let's say you've got 8 offers. Let's say you got 4 offers. I don't care.
You categorize, like, here's this, here's the cash,
Oh.
here's the conventional, here's the whatever, this is what this means, rate, price, right?
Could be.
Not rate, price.
What's the one thing we're going to do with it? We're going to throw it in a multiple offer and send it back to the people that put all those offers in, and say, hey, we'd like this.
One thing I didn't really understand, and I feel like I should have, but I didn't, is there an advantage to having a escalation clause?
It can be, but
Because you know more, the buyer sees?
Yeah, but look.
Anyway,
Well, okay, that's a good one. We can talk about that for a
Okay.
minute if you want to.
yeah.
But what she's talking about, an escalation clause, is where an offer comes in and it says, okay, $100,000. And what it says is that if there's an offer that's higher than that one, if there's an offer that's higher than the $100,000, and if the seller will send them the actual offer, redacted, of course, it has to be redacted, and that
Do
they
people
will
know
go,
what redacted means?
means removed, covered up.
Blocked out,
Yeah.
crossed out, yeah, okay.
That they will take their offer up to a certain dollar amount.
Mhm.
And so it could be another 20,000 or whatever. And as a seller, I love those.
You do?
Well, because it's like playing poker with your cards face
Wow.
up.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, because
Yeah.
some of the numbers are crazy. I mean, you get one for $100,000. Here's their offer at $100,000, but their escalation is up to $150,000. They just showed their hand to me.
I know.
So I don't have to follow the escalation. I
So why would a buyer do that, I guess? Why wouldn't they just come in with their highest and best?
Well, because you want the best deal.
I know, but as
They
a
don't wanna pay
seller,
too
are you
much.
really going to go, oh, I see they're going to go up to that, so I'm going to accept lower?
No,
So
no.
what am I missing? Other than they get more intel,
Get more intel.
right? Because they have to be, do you want to
Mm-hmm.
explain that? The buyers have to get the price that's on the table right now. Basically, explain that.
Excuse me?
If there's an escalation clause in play,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't the buyer have to be sent some documentation about what's going on right now?
So if you mean affecting the escalation?
Yeah.
Okay. So if an offer comes in from Jane Doe for $100,000, and then Jane Doe.
Bob Smith.
He submits an offer for $100,000 with an escalation to $150,000.
Mm-hmm.
What the family can do is several things. One is that they can accept the one with the escalation on it and take that one, or they can just counter both of them at $150,000, send them back both a counter offer, what's called a multiple counter offer.
There we go. That's how they show their
That's the way it should
the
be.
seller. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I agree, and I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, I don't know how many states in the nation have this thing where the buyer can't know
Yeah.
what the other offers are, but that is not how it is nationwide.
No, Arizona, you get to know what the offers are.
You do, and
Which kind of crazy, but that's all right. That's
good for the buyer.
It is.
I like it, because then they're like, well, I'm not even going to go there, because
Sure.
I'm not going to go that high. Next, you know,
Right.
the time is not wasted.
I still-
Emotions are not wasted.
I like our deal better.
Well, it's a good
I
thing
think
you're
it's
in Wisconsin.
cleaner. I think it's more honest. I think it's
I
pure.
think that is. It's more
It's a
transparent.
pure, well,
Here's the offer on the table right now. Can you beat it? Can you not? If not, move on, right? Seller's like, okay, cool. I don't have 60 offers to review. Everybody knows what the deal is.
no.
What do you mean, no?
So I know they're not giving you the entire details of the contract. So what happens is they'll say, well, we have an offer for $100,000. And then you, as the realtor, go, well, okay, then we'll go $120,000. I'm sorry, we now have an offer for $140,000. Okay,
Woo, crazy bidding war.
I'll go 145.
A true bidding war.
Right, a true bidding war. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But
Yeah.
the time lapse is draining. One of the most stressful things in life is buying and selling a home. And our way kind of reduces that a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I think that's cleaner. It's more pure. It is pure because you don't know what the other side of the table has. And so you've got to have an
So
educated...
to me, that's muddy
Okay. That's okay.
perspective.
All right.
Of course, I'm advocating for buyers because that's what I do, and
I
I
know.
want them to
Well,
know
yeah, me
what's
too.
going on. Yeah.
I do the same thing, but it's yeah. So if you throw an escalation clause, and I'm the listing agent, I work for the seller, then I know that your 150 number is the price I can now get. I can ignore your escalation clause. I can remove it from the offer with a counter offer, and if I've got multiple people, I'll throw a multiple counter offer out at 150 or 160, something like that.
It is a game, and I don't know if people really understand that you need to have strategy.
Right.
You go in doing this on your own, and especially when things change
Right.
in a couple months,
Yep.
right? I don't think you want to go in to a market like this and
No.
try to strategize on your own when you have no experience.
You will lose. You
Yeah.
will lose every single time.
Well, things will get messy
Yeah.
for you.
Right.
It's not worth it.
So now I've thrown out a multiple counter offer at 160, knowing that my highest price on the escalation was 150. So your next question should be, well, what happens if nobody accepts that, or nobody writes an offer back? Right?
Mhm.
You're still not lost. Now I can go back to the people that are there, and I'll say 150. I already know I have a $150 amount, $150,000 amount. So now I can come back, if I don't get any other offers above 150, come back to that and say, hey, we've decided to focus on your offer, and will you accept $150,000? Now, in this market, they're going to say yes. They're going to say yes.
Except nobody's doing accepted offers for 150.
No, I'm just
Not around
using
here.
the dollar
No,
amount
I know.
numbers because
I know.
they're fictitious, but
Definitely fictitious.
yeah. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, something that people always want to know. Oh my gosh, it's 20 minutes ago.
Inquiring minds. wanna know.
Dane County, how do we compare? Everybody, our city is so big on it comparing. Wow, what are other media centers doing? Well, who cares? We've got the #1 media center in the state of Wisconsin. Anyway, so how do we compare to Dane County? Well, Dane County numbers for year-to-date, January through May, are only up 6.5%.
Really?
6.5%. We're up 5% higher. Now, why are we selling homes better than Dane County? Well, Dane County's broad; it's the whole county in itself. But what makes Sun Prairie? The question, what you should be saying is, well, what makes Sun Prairie so wonderful that people want to live here? And it's the building we're sitting in, the library. It's our parks, our rec department. It's the people of Sun Prairie. It's our police department.
The chamber.
Our chamber, and our government officials, our council people. They're all
The
approachable.
list goes on and on,
Yeah,
but it's what we have to offer too. We have a lot to offer here.
It's just a wonderful community that people just really enjoy, and so that's why. And we left out the big one. Our school system. People love our school system.
That was on my mind, yeah.
Now, there's going to be somebody out there, I hate that school system. Well, okay, get over it. It's a good school system. It is.
I didn't know about the ranking thing. It came up at our Raskow event about you can go, I don't remember the name of the website, but you can go on and you can rank the schools. And the school district needs more of that. There's very few reviews. Yeah. I went on and did it. But that's what people look at when they're moving into a community. I think that's one of the resources that's shared.
Sure.
How do people feel about the school district who are actually in it, have kids in it? So, anyway, a lot of good information out there.
So we already said, well, here, 10%, pricing has increased 10% since December. That's 11% if we move from January to that. Only 39% of competing offers. That's huge because we're coming out of spring. June numbers will be strong numbers also, and then they're going to fluctuate a little bit because people are buying now so they can be in their home for what?
School starting. Oh my gosh, I don't want to talk about that.
You're good, I tell you. 12% of the properties sold were cash, one WIDA, one VA.
Okay, again, the WIDA thing irritates me. It's just a conventional loan. Anyway, I don't know why that has to be logged. It seems odd.
Yeah, and there were, as Laura said earlier, there were 11 properties that were sold below the asking price. Now, why did those sell below the asking price?
And several actually were net zero. And then a couple of them were almost like $100 over.
Right.
$201. Like the price is right.
Right.
I'm gonna offer 201.
I know. But I'm gonna tell you the reason why those negative numbers are on there is because a real estate agent was involved. How do I know that? Because the media is telling you everything is selling above asking price. They're going, 40,000, 50,000, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
know your numbers.
No, there's nothing that high. 12,000, 22,000 above on Prospect Drive, and so you've got 24 on Thoreau Drive, 2016 house. That was 750,000, by the way.
I know. I was looking at some of the lower ones just to see what they look like Windsor. Needs a lot of updating, but cute still. But that one went 25 over. First time home buyer, I'm guessing it was super competitive.
Yeah, probably.
10% change on that one.
Probably.
Definitely, according to your numbers anyway.
Correct. Now, here's the thing about statistics and numbers. You need to be working with the city of Sun Prairie, not 53590. It's got to be classified as City of Sun Prairie. And a lot of companies out there that you'll see them on social media, they're throwing numbers of 53590. Well, that mixes in Bristol and Burke and Sun Prairie and the town of Sun Prairie. So the accuracy's off. And when the accuracy's off, you're going to overspend for a house. Excuse me. So just be aware of that. And if you want to know statistics when you're selling a house, you're welcome to call me and we can talk about it during the sale process and all that.
I would say not if you want to, you need to.
You gotta.
Whether you're selling or buying, you need to know what's going on in the market so you price accordingly and offer accordingly.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, let's talk about this lawsuit that just completed, class action lawsuit. Boy, am I excited about class action lawsuits. They're just so much fun. And for us as the peon people that initiate these things, it is so rewarding. I can't tell you how rewarding it actually is.
Are you being sarcastic?
Absolutely. $1.8 billion judgment. And do you know how much the individual peon people like us would be getting?
$5.
$38.
Oh, that's better than what I thought.
So when you got people like Keller Williams, Century 21, you've got Prudential paying out $50 million in settlement, $124 million in settlement, and that didn't find its way to the people that filed the complaint. It's the lawyers that get the money, people. It's not you.
And I heard another lawyer locally that was like, yeah, I mean, precedent's been set now, so
Yeah.
watch out. Any lawyer that knows that
Yep.
is going to be looking for opportunities now to
Yep.
do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So changes in real estate, and what does it mean? Starting August 17th, that's the date right now, there are going to be several changes that are going to affect your life if you're selling or buying a property. And so we're going to talk about those right now. One of the myths that is out there is that buyer commission is going away. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is not. It is not, and it shouldn't go away. And we'll get into that a little bit. But let's talk about the process and how commissions work in all this. And we've done this before, but I want to do it again. So when I'm selling a house, if let's say Laura's selling a house and I'm the real estate agent that's going to represent her, we have a contract. In the contract, there's a portion in there currently where it says total commission to be paid, and we'll use a number like 6%. We'll just throw that in there, okay? And then, because these are the numbers that the class action likes to throw out. And then in a separate category, there it says commission paid to others. And so, I don't know, commonly it'll be half of the other one, 3%. And that's what the listing broker pays the other buyer agent or other representative to bring a buyer to the property.
Also split with their broker.
Correct.
And potentially their team.
Correct.
And then trickles down to them.
Correct.
Yeah.
All of those numbers, those percentages I just give you, are negotiable. They always have been. And you've heard that from day one from us in 9 years. You've heard commissions are negotiable.
Yeah.
Commissions are negotiable. And so
I still think most people don't realize that, though.
they have no idea.
Because it's traditionally, commonly, 6%. Why is that? Because everybody just assumes it.
They assume.
Yeah.
They assume. That makes that's not you and me.
Sure does.
Making whoever's making the
Well, it
assumption.
causes people to lose a lot of money, potentially.
Well, it does.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have much time. That's the way it's set up. And so then when a buyer brings, if a buyer brings a client to the property, when they goes to closing, then that buyer's broker receives that percentage. If there's not a buyer, the listing broker receives all of the commission, the total, the 6%. And so the way I've always seen it is it's an incentive for the listing agent to go out and find a buyer.
My mom always called it a double pop.
It's a double dip.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So now what's happening is that the Department of Justice believes for us to be more transparent, and I don't get this, we're now removing all compensation from the multiple listing service. Multiple listing service is the service that provides all the information about the house to a large group of people. It gets the word out there to anybody. You'll see it on Zillow, you'll see it on Realtor.com, you'll see it on Redfin, you'll see it on my website. Those are propagators, and the information propagates to those third-party listing services. So you get all that information out. Now, what's going to happen is that a buyer's agent and on the multiple listing service, it will tell the buyer agent how much they're being paid for bringing a buyer. Now, the reason for that is that the buyer that's out there looking for a house has contracted with the real estate agent to represent them. And there's an amount. It could be 2%, 2.5%, 3%, 10,000. It could be a dollar amount, whatever.
Oh, I guess I've never seen flat fee. Sure,
Yeah,
I have.
You can
yeah.
do it. Yes, you can.
Okay.
And so you can a new car. You can have that in there. No, I'm joking. I've never
Maybe
seen
not.
that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's what you have. So now the buyer is responsible for paying the buyer agent unless there's compensation that's offered, and that a lot of times they all come together, which is beautiful. So now what's going to happen is that the buyer agent, so the buyer is going to go through the same process. They sign a buyer agency agreement. In fact, now, because the Department of Justice is so nice and they love us so much and want to protect the client of the United States citizens so well, that they're now going to require the buyers, potential buyers, to have an agreement in place, in hand, with a realtor before they set foot in a house. Now, what does that mean? We don't know yet. But right now it looks like buyer agency,
Yeah.
and I'm
And
concerned
a
about
lot
that.
of agents were doing that anyway.
I'm concerned about it
Why?
because if I've just met you, I don't know you.
Well, I know.
I don't know if I want you as a client.
Vice versa.
Well,
Is it easy
exactly.
to get out? Or is it the same situation now where it's like, I don't really like my agent, and like technically there's a contract in play,
There's a contract in place.
but most agents would say, you know what, if we're not going to work well together,
Yeah.
why would I hold you to
Exactly.
it? But it's going to be the
Right.
same situation going forward, right?
Sure, it's not a unilateral agreement. It has to be of both parties.
Yeah.
So that's the case right now. So what's going to happen is, the way I see it, is going to be three things. The way I'm going to approach it as a buyer's agent. One is, in my agreement with you as your buyer agent representative, is that there's going to be described as, I will take the offer of compensation provided by the seller. I will attempt to capture the agreed upon percentage in the offer to purchase when we write an offer, to have the seller pay that percentage. Or the last thing is that the buyer pays the buyer agent
Yeah.
commission. So there's the three categories. I just listed a property, a condo, on Liberty Boulevard, 55 plus. It's absolutely the Mac Daddy of 55 plus. Beautiful, nice size, everything. Had two agents call me, and one local, one not local. The local one said, hey, I just want to double check because it says in the buyer agency area, 0 commission. And I
You're
said,
already doing it?
yeah. My seller demanded it. It's not
Okay.
my decision,
Yeah,
it's
true.
theirs.
True.
I tried to talk him out of it. I think it's a mistake.
Yeah.
The buyer agent says to me, or potential buyer agent says to me, that's just ridiculous. I don't work for free. This
It's
agent's been-
negotiable. Send
Well-
an offer with the seller. Come on.
Now, here's
really?
the thing is, I have to be careful because I represent the seller. The seller says, I don't want to pay a buyer commission.
Then we'll wait and see what the offers are that come in.
But thank you. But also, if he says to me, but I would consider some seller concessions of X amount if I have to. I can't tell them that. That's confidential.
All you
Unless-
can say is submit your best offer.
Right.
Do what you gotta
but this
do,
one
we'll
said,
evaluate.
No, I don't work for free. I'm out.
So, question. Oh, wow. That's interesting.
And so there's an agency violation, I think. If she has a
Right?
buyer agency
Yeah.
agreement, she has an agreement to put the fiduciary responsibility of the buyer first. So she just eliminated a property without maybe showing it to her.
That's an attitude problem.
That's against the law.
Well, she made it about her instead of just realizing, okay, fine, this is happening, this
Right.
is coming,
Right.
and now I got to change my game.
Right.
So, hey, buyer,
Right.
they're not automatically paying, but we
Sure.
can come in at this price.
Sure.
And that's what perplexes me
Sure.
about the whole thing. Supposedly, and I don't know if that was the reason behind it, there were multiple, but the thought process that property values were inflated because of the commission, so that the seller was shouldering the cost
Mhm.
for the buyers. Well, yeah, but how is it any different? The buyer was still paying for it
Right.
in the price of the house, and
Yeah,
how
I'm
is
with
it
you.
going to be any different now?
Well, here's what's going to happen. And it's the one thing that you don't like as a lender. It's going to be $100,000 offer, and they're going to bump it to $103,000 to cover the 3% commission.
But that's what they've been doing anyway.
Well, kinda.
Yeah.
But no. The pricing has been set. What we're marketing it, getting that market price includes the commission in it.
We'll see what happens with appraisals then, huh?
Oh.
Higher end properties,
Well, there you go.
more money,
There you go.
a lot more money.
A lot more money.
Yeah,
A lot
it'll be
more.
really, so wow.
Sure.
Appraisers are not super popular in the realtor
Sure.
community, I think, but their jobs are going to be tough
Sure.
trying to figure this out.
And this is the one caveat I'm going to tell everybody. Do you work with a realtor that texts, email, or talks to you? Because it's going to take communications on this side.
Yeah.
So if I had been that agent, if my roles were reversed, and there was this property that had 0 commission, my first thing would have been to call and say, hey, I see that you guys have already started the new program or standard set up by DOJ. Is your seller open to consideration for the buyer agency?
And what if they say no?
If they say no, well, would your buyer or your seller do this? How about if we raise the offer price to cover the commission? Would your seller be interested in doing that? Yes.
As long as your buyer has appraisal gap.
Well,
I think that's going to come up.
that depends on how they're buying it, I reckon.
A lot of strategy again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But see that give and take?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been working with realtors lately that they just want to text, and it just irritates the crap out of me. One of them just emailed, I sent you an email. I don't check my emails very often.
Why?
Because I don't need to.
What do you mean?
I don't need to check
You're
my
in
email.
business. You check your email.
I check it maybe at the end of the day.
Okay, so maybe it would be appropriate then to say, can you put that in there? This is the best way to communicate with me about any offers coming in.
Now, we got 3 minutes, so I want to touch on something.
Okay.
So the fourth choice, and well, I just gave you the fourth choice. Fifth choice on this is that the buyer goes directly to the listing agent and buys the house.
Oof.
And folks, you're going to lose.
Unrepresented, unless they have an attorney.
Unrepresented, and the other realtor doesn't have to do anything for you. They just have to be honest, truthful. They have to do the Boy Scout oath.
But they're not protecting you.
No,
they're
they
not
have
representing
nothing
you.
to protect you.
No.
And so when the media says to you that every offer is being sold over the asking price and it's all cash, that's in your mind. You
Not
can
true.
say to her, or say, you don't even know to say, do you have any offers in hand?
Mm-hmm.
Or to say, do you have any offers over $100,000? They don't have to tell you the dollar amount.
But they can say yes or no to that.
Right. Or they can say, you should put your best.
Highest and best.
Right.
Yeah.
And there we go. So there's a lot of concern that I have here. But the sellers, be smart. Educate yourself. Work with the realtor that's going to guide you. Let's set the pricing where it compensates that buyer agent. And then I can go out and tell everybody about it. I can't put it on a website. I can't.
Not the
do anything
MLS
like
anyway, no. Multiple
I
listings.
can't even put it on a website. I can't do a TikTok that says 123 Main Street is offering $20,000 worth of. I know it's good. So every time a buyer agent wants to show a property, they basically have to call.
Have a conversation.
Have a conversation.
Well, that might be a good end result of this whole
Right.
thing. Could be.
Right.
But there is some good news too about lending, that the loan programs, for the most part, it sounds like,
1 minute.
are going to allow,
Commissions?
yes,
Oh, wow.
even VA.
Well, okay. There we go. You know.
So, I mean, it's all negotiation, but it isn't a deal breaker necessarily. So,
No.
at least they're getting on board with this, the Fannie, Freddie, FHA, VA,
Right.
so that it makes it a little bit easier for
Exactly.
buyers.
So, folks, this has probably been clear as mud to you, and that's okay.
It's confusing.
It is.
It really is,
And it's
for
gonna get
everybody.
worse. And I'm going to tell you right now that there are realtors that have no idea what's going on right now because I've been around them. I've been talking to them and saying to them, how are you going to address this? Well, we're going to wait and see what happens in August. Sorry, forget about it.
Forget about
You
it.
got to jump on this right now.
That's not a good professional approach.
I'm kind of excited about it.
Okay.
Well, the reason being is that you have to have a tight relationship with your buyer.
You do.
And
More
you
so
need
with
to see
this.
It's not about price, it's about relationship.
And it's
the
about
value.
buyer's agents showing their value.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
How are your buyers going to trust you? Because they're
Exactly.
going to have to sign a contract with you right out of the gate if
Exactly.
they want to go look at anything.
Exactly.
Show
Hey,
your value.
Sun Prairie, thanks for listening to us. Join us at 4:30 today when the Sun Prairie Cardinals take on Oak Creek in the
Woo!
semifinals of the state championship. Mike Powers, Mark Karstens, and I will be bringing you the play-by-play, and hopefully we bring you a win today.
That's why you have your Cardinal shirt on, huh?
That's right.
Nice.
Actually,
Go Cards.
I'm going to change and put red on. No, I'm not. I'm cheesing. And then also, hey, I want to remind you that June 14th through the 23rd is the Parade of Homes, and it's going to be great. The Windsor neighborhood will be one of the must-see sites. It's right outside off of Happy Valley. So get out there and check it out and see all the good stuff that's going on. And until then, we will catch you at the baseball game later today or this Saturday at Strawberry Fest. Bye, Sun Prairie.
Bye, Sun Prairie. Is it already this weekend?
Huh? Yeah.
Strawberry Fest?
Oh.
Wow. I usually see stuff about it. I haven't seen anything.
No.
No.
I see the signs out.
Okay.
And
That's
hey,
just,
you should come broadcast it with me.
should I?
Yes.
Could I get some strawberries?
Oh,
I need
Stalker
strawberries.
always
I need-
buys us strawberries.
Did you say stalker or stalker?
I said stalker, didn't I? Sometimes my words don't work.
Stalker. Steve Stalker
Steve
is not a stalker. Let's just be clear.
Steve Stalker's awesome.
I
We love him.
Yes. He is awesome.
Valerie Alt, you're watching.